say what you want to about Joe Budden, right? But
Mhm.
he is a giant in the podcasting space.
Yeah.
And he always seems to be, he's the rubber band man, you know? I mean, someone may, you know, he always he knows what he's worth, and he does whatever he can to make sure that he receives that, and that people around him, his team, is also receiving that as well. So, you know, there are a lot of people who talk like, you know, trash on him. You know, they just sort of do all this sort of stuff, right? But again,
Yeah.
you know, it's just like he always seems to, I don't even want to say bounce back either, but because, you know, right now the podcasting industry is starting to feel like the music industry.
Yeah, it's a
You know,
bit oversaturated. Joe Rogan upended everything by going to Spotify. Spotify's trying to make a platform now, and Joe Budden's was firmly against going to Spotify. He put his foot down. He said, "We're not going there. It's not beneficial to
right.
us." And he's been against it from the beginning. And Spotify's been paying people to go there. They're desperate to have major artists or major, you know, people do the podcast on Spotify. And so for him to say, like, we're not going to go there, we're going to stay on YouTube, we're going to stay doing what we're doing right now and continue to try and make money this way, I commend him for it. I want to see what his vision is going to be for how he's going to make this pay off for him, because everybody's feeling the pinch now. If you are just podcasting and you don't have any other way to reach the new people, new fans, whatever, and you're kind of stagnant, you're in trouble, because, you know, your numbers could be high, but no one's really listening to you, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, people just kind of download, but it's just sitting on their phones or whatever. And, you know, a lot of people have, like, I'm subscribed to like 10 or 15 podcasts. I probably listen to 2 of them.
Yeah.
Any given time that I have time for. So, like, you know, it counts as a download and play, but like, if they had an ad on there, I'm never going to listen to it, or, you know, use their whatever they're promoting. I'm not going to hear about it.
Easy to blow through ads too on the podcast.
Yeah, it's easy to skip forward. Like, there's no way to make you have to listen to it. Like, on YouTube, you have to listen to it. And Spotify, if they have an ad on Spotify, you have to listen to
the free version. Exactly.
Yeah, the Spotify is just another Spotify commercial, but like, you still, in the free version, you have to listen to what they're telling you. Right. On your regular podcast, like, it's very easy to skip forward. So, you know, it's a risky. People have been successful at it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I like Mark Maron's podcast. He's been around. Like, WTF podcast has been around for a while. Right. I listen to Joe Rogan. I like nerdy type podcasts and business related podcasts and politics and that kind of stuff. So like, I'm definitely on that end. But, you know, I got tired of the gossipy, let's be mad at whatever person thing happened.
Yeah.
Like, the media takeouts, and I got tired of that. So I just tuned that out completely. And Joe Rogan is in that space. He's in the love and hip hop space. He's in the drama space.
No, really, Joe Rogan or Joe Budden?
Joe Budden, sorry, Joe Budden. I mixed up the Joes, but
well, you know what? I mean, yes and no, right? So, you know, when Joe Budden was on Spotify, he had the #1 podcast on Spotify in 2019, right? He had a relationship with them. Yeah, and then when he was like, okay, when the contract was up and they had to renegotiate, he was basically like, okay, listen, we need to read this up because I'm the #1 podcast now. And they were like, hey, you know what? Well, we're going to like give Joe Rogan $100 million or whatever it was. And, you know,
it's a couple zeros, man.
Yeah, it's a couple commas, it's a couple zeros, right? So it's just like, hey, you know, I'm out of here, right? So it's just like, okay, but he still has the ability to, he does have a fan base. He does have a following. I think with his content, his content isn't necessary. It's a lot about hip hop. It's a lot about industry stuff. and you know he knows like his way around topics.
Yeah, you know,
Um,
he's very good talking. I'll
he's
give it to
very
him.
good talking, you know, and now with this sort of partnership, it's not really a deal. It's a partnership with Patreon, and
Mhm.
also he, you know, they're bringing him on as an advisor too, so he's going to be like head of creator equity there too. So that's going to be pretty
Yeah.
interesting. And
I think that Patreon is trying to get into the space so that podcasters can go and use Patreon, because Patreon, they had a lull where they were losing a lot of money, and they lost because they had some issues with some of the people that are on there,
right,
and they made this ruling where we can judge what your content is if you did something off platform.